It's possible for a third party to challenge the two-party system without ranked choice voting or proportional representation. The key is to turn the existing system's strengths into weakness. The two-party system has built remarkable defenses against a frontal assault. They expect us to lose by storming the gates, a full-scale melee, mano a mano, where they can make the most of their terrific psychological and structural advantages. It is not impossible to beat them this way, but it would be incredibly difficult. Their defenses are strong, built up over generations to withstand exactly that kind of electoral attack. However, there is still great vulnerability. A wise adversary knows that there are other ways to win besides mindlessly throwing yourself full strength against your enemy's battlements. A wise adversary knows how to turn his enemy's strengths into weaknesses. As someone who spent years studying the two-party system for weaknesses, I have some ideas. First, presidential politics should not be the point of the spear. It is too risky to try and challenge the two-party system with a frontal assault as your opening move. The odds of winning are too low. The chances of failure and disgrace, too high. On the other hand, every single seat in the U.S. House of Representatives is up for grabs every 2 years. 435 seats. Recent public opinion polls show Congress with a 13% approval rating. In fact, its approval rating has sunk into single digits within the last decade or so. 84% of Americans disapprove of the job Congress is doing. The states have built fortresses for these seats through gerrymandering, but these fortresses are highly vulnerable. In recent decades, congressional representatives have increased their re-election rates above 90%. It's not because people like them. Vast chunks of political territory are barely even contested, despite there only being two options, because, like drug cartels, the two parties have divided up the electorate so that they spend fewer resources fighting one another. Entire states are considered red for Republican or blue for Democratic, like the Crips and Bloods, and they don't go out of their way to fight one another over safe seats. But safe seats aren't safe at all, because there are huge populations of non-voters everywhere in this country. Non-voters are the key to victory. All one has to do is get non-voters to vote. Now, the greatest barrier to entry for third-party and independent candidates is the laborious process to get on the ballot. Frequently, state laws make it nearly impossible. Non-major party candidates are forced to get many, many more signatures and jump through many more hoops just to get their names on the ballot for Election Day. But here's where the major party's strength can become weakness. Democrats and Republicans don't have to do that same song and dance. They are automatically on the ballot, no matter what. This means a smart third-party challenger doesn't even need to run as a third party to get on the ballot. We can turn their ballot-protected strength into a liability by running as Republicans in Democratic safe zones and Democrats in Republican safe zones. I like to think of it as the Postern Gate in the castle at Helm's Deep from The Lord of the Rings. We can try a frontal assault on the main gate, or we can sneak in through the Postern Gate. The advantage, besides getting onto the ballot should you win the primary, which I believe is more than possible to do, is that you eliminate all of the downsides of third-party challenges. You no longer have to contend with the spoiler effect. You don't need ranked choice voting to win. You just need to challenge the incumbent. And guess what? Incumbents can be beaten. After your new party wins, a bumper crop of Democratic seats here, a passel of Republican seats there, you form your caucus in Congress. There's no law about changing parties once you win. It happens from time to time. We could make that part of our electoral strategy. There are also huge portions of state house and Senate races where the incumbent or chosen party representative runs unopposed. We could oppose them using this strategy with an eye for changing state election laws about third party or independent candidates once our candidates win. We could run our candidates on shared platforms that supported ranked choice voting, universal voter registration, and enacting a popular vote for president. Of course, that's just the beginning. A shared pro-working class platform is also key, one that includes Medicare for all at a bare minimum, secure retirements, subsidized childcare, an end to debt slavery, and laws that make it easier for workers to join a union and increase their wages. This strategy has the advantage of fully taxing the built-in financial advantages of the major parties. The Democrats and Republicans currently spend much of their time fundraising. But if we organized a nationwide challenge, we could stretch those resources very thin, negating a lot of their money power. I realize a lot of you will have doubts about the effectiveness of this strategy, but personally, I love it. Please give a like, follow, favorite, and subscribe to my free Substack, where you can get more detail on every post. You know what I always say, let's make them pay.